Welcome to
NSCoder Chicago.
Welcome to
NSCoder Chicago.
Welcome to
NSCoder Chicago. NSCoder Chicago.
Welcome to
Hey, you're listening to the NSCoder Chicago podcast. Today we're covering topics related to iOS development and technology. My name is David.
My name is Sean Walter. NSCoder is a monthly meetup. We generally get together on the last Tuesday of every month. Expedia is currently hosting us downtown. More information is available at nscoder-chicago.com or just search Meetup for NSCoder, Apple Meetup, anything like that here in Chicago.
I noticed you mentioned Expedia is currently hosting us downtown. Any chance of new hosts coming up?
Anything's possible. Expedia has been a very good host to us. Eric has been able to secure a location, multimedia stuff, pizza,
Oh, yeah.
and salad that nobody ever eats. But yeah, there is possibility of other
Hey,
hosts.
I appreciate that salad. I am a big salad fan here. It's
That
good
poor
stuff.
salad. Every time we get like 5 pizzas and then that salad, and almost nobody touches the salad.
You know, the pizza is really good. I can't blame anyone. The food is great. The space is great at Expedia. And everyone should join, so please do.
Yeah, come on down.
Okay, so here on this podcast, we've talked a bit about liquid glass already, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not, just complaining out of nowhere, because we love it so much. But we've basically been talking about it at a kind of first impressions, general feelings kind of level. And I thought today might be a good time to kind of take a look at it from more of an engineering, artistic perspective. What is it that makes us feel the way we do about liquid glass, whether good or bad? What could be better? What isn't great? Yeah. You got any thoughts on that?
Oh boy, do I have thoughts. Oh yeah. So there's a God, how do you even start this? Because there's just the bugs, like glitches, visual problems, which still persist. I updated everything to 26.2. I remember reading on Mac Rumors or something where one of the writers was saying, "Oh no, it's better. They fixed all the visual bugs." They did not. The one that drives me crazy is I've been trying to use Apple's Journal app.
Okay.
It's pretty good, and now it syncs across everything with the 26 releases.
Oh, it's even gotten better. Nice.
Yeah, it's cool. You can attach metadata to stuff. It's a fine app. It has data portability, so you can export it, so you're not stuck in it. Okay, cool, good app. But it drives me crazy every time on the iPhone or iPad client. I type in a little entry. Oh, I was thinking about this. I saw a tree, and I hit done, and the the nav bar icons kind of get stuck in mid gloop.
Oh.
And it's just
Wow.
and then it happens repeatedly, every time. And then it goes you exit out and it's fine and you go away. It's not like it breaks the app, but it just drives me crazy.
If you had to guess, is this a system level issue, or do you think it's just not implemented in that app very well?
Probably both.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine that Journal probably doesn't get much development time, and then system-wide, I mean, you can see this across the board. You see this in the music app. You see this in Photos. Transitioning, the point of liquid glass, what they laid out in Alan Dye's stupid little 5-minute talk at WWDC was, things transition and they gloop and they glop and they flow together and then they distort underneath. And that's cool.
It's like liquid.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's in the name. Yeah, liquid glass.
Right.
But it does not achieve those goals. And remember, I'm still on the first part, the bugs part. I'm not even getting to as a design system. I'm just saying it doesn't accomplish its own goals.
Yeah.
The music app, the Photos app, if you move around, if you tap on things or click on things, and now this is Mac and iOS and iPadOS.
Okay.
Things pop in, pop out, sort of don't move together or move together sometimes. There's no consistency. It's just it's just bad, and it's slowly driving me crazy.
Yeah.
I more as since 26.2, it's now like the default for people that update their phones. So more and more of my friends and family outside of iOS and Apple enthusiasm and development are getting on the platform. So, and also it's the holiday season. So like I'm seeing more people, and because I'm like the Apple guy, people come up to me and they're like, what the hell is going on? Well, this is the stupidest thing. Where'd the search bar go? The search bar in passwords is down at the bottom, which once you know it's there is fine.
Sure.
But even I who use it full time,
yeah,
I open up passwords on like to fill a password in iOS. And because it's liquid glass, there's no visual distinction. You can't, it does not pop. You do not see it.
Yeah, it
so
blends in.
Every single time people are like, I can't use passwords anymore. Like, what are you talking about? They're like, there's no search. Oh no, search is down here at the bottom. And you can't see that. It doesn't show.
Yeah. I'm very guilty of like looking for that search bar. I'll even like kind of like basically pull to refresh, hoping it'll pop up,
Yeah.
But it always takes me a minute or two to realize, oh yeah, I've been better about it recently, but it's a learning curve.
It just feels broken. Like it does not.
Yeah.
There are just rough edges everywhere, and again, this is an own goal. Like at DubDub, I guess they needed some banner thing to say, "Hey, look, we have this cool thing coming." And so Apple laid it out. They said, "Oh, we're going to move to liquid glass immediately," and now we're all stuck with the half broken UI here and there.
So, are you feeling like maybe a longer transition would have been appreciated, or more time before having to switch over?
Well, again, going back to my rubric, this is just bugs and glitches.
Yeah.
So for glitches, yeah, I think if it had been allowed to bake for a lot longer, then there would be fewer glitches. The system would work better. And I don't know if this is true, but a friend of mine, somebody that goes to NSCoder, let's call him Tom, last name withheld. He said he believes that like some Skunkworks team has been working on liquid glass for a long time internally, but it was just this year that, again, probably because they needed to distract from AI, that they hurried it up and got it out.
I see. There's some sense that it was rushed internally then.
Yeah. So says, third-hand rumors.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so those are revolving around bugs and glitches.
Bugs and glitches.
I'm taking notes here as we're kind of talking about this, just because I want to approach it productively. So bugs and glitches, there isn't a lot of consistency.
Yeah.
And I can agree with you there. Actually, I was in the Photos app the other day, and I noticed something I actually really like. The liquid glass buttons at the bottom, when you tap to show the UI and hide it, the buttons at the bottom kind of have this nice spread effect. They almost kind of like spread into nothing, and then they like kind of, it's like liquid appearing out of nowhere. It like jumbles back up into the UI on the bottom buttons. On the top buttons, they just fade in and out. And so, consistency doesn't feel like it's there, or at least the lack of consistency feels wrong.
Yeah.
Another item doesn't work as expected. So maybe this is like when you're in the journal app and you're just trying to do some basic things, it just stops working.
Yeah.
Maybe the expectation from both the developers who made it and us is for it to do what it's supposed to do. It's not doing it. Important features have been moved or are harder to find, such as search. And there's a sense that maybe more development time was needed. It feels like it's not fully baked.
Yeah.
Does that feel like it captures it on the bugs and glitches side?
Yeah.
Okay.
It I mean, like Mac, the iOS is rough, but like the Mac is just like embarrassing. Like there's in the music app, there's
Mm.
like in the corner if you're logged into Apple Music, you
Mm-hmm.
get your little avatar, and your avatar is one sort of corner radius,
Mm.
and then the thing it's in has a different radius, and then the thing outside of that has a different radius.
Wow.
So
Okay.
you've got these three things that are not what did they call it?
Yeah.
Concentricity.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Wow.
they don't line up, and
Mm-hmm.
it drives me crazy. It has me considering like moving to a different music app.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, these are the things that we've come to love about Apple is that they get the small details right.
Yeah.
And so when you see
And
that, it really goes against everything that made you fall in love in the first place.
amen, brother. And so like we talk about all these bugs, and then like I don't know, some straw man apologist will say, "Oh, but there were bugs like, in iOS 7, like that was rough." And yeah,
Sure.
that is true, but like the second problem, probably the bigger problem, is like the like purpose of this design system. Like iOS 7
Mm-hmm.
uh was thought out. Like it that you might not have agreed with its goals and its perspective, but it had an opinion
Yeah.
all the way from like, how things are layered and stacked, and where controls go, and how text is entered, and like where your finger should be. Like there was
Yeah. If you had to guess at that purpose, what do you think the goal was?
um I'd have to go back because at the time one of those Johnny Ive in the White Rooms, I'm sure talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um but
Yeah.
there was
Maybe like minimalism or, being more utilitarian.
this is off the top of my head.
Okay.
Like this is not based in fact. I have to do some research, but I
Sure.
think it
Yeah.
was, iOS 6 and before, there were standard controls which had a look, but there was no system. There wasn't really a design system for iOS.
Ah, I see. So maybe iOS 7 was unifying the design system.
Yeah, yeah, because previously you might use stock controls like a table view and the UI button, but ultimately you could put them wherever you wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and it would mostly work. And some of the most like exciting apps just went off on their own and made custom controls, like the good old days of Mac OS when you would or Mac OS 10, where you would have a design that was like virtual shelves, or
Mm-hmm.
like flying through space to load your
Oh, sure.
backups.
Yeah, yeah. I honestly loved that UI.
What is so cool? Okay, we launched this thing called Time Machine, and if you want to get your backups, you go into space. Awesome.
Right. I was pretty young around that time, and maybe like around 18, 19, 20. And that was one of the things that helped me to differentiate it between Windows, Mac and Windows. Mac had that cool space backup thing. You never saw anything like backups like that for
Yeah.
Windows. I feel like it still exists in that form a little bit today, right? But maybe not as
Yeah, I think
stylized.
I don't even know. I haven't used Time Machine in a long time. Now, if you
Same.
go, I think it's just a black. It's just like a black background.
Okay, just Windows in a
See,
void.
Yep.
Okay, so we were talking about how it used to feel like there was more of a purpose. Maybe that used to be a unified design system.
Yeah, I mean, in iOS 7, there was a purpose and a thinking through where buttons go, what glyphs mean, how you layer the
Mm-hmm.
system controls and the popovers and the pop unders and the alerts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, maybe I'm just maybe the bugs have just soured me on it, but like I
Mm-hmm.
watched I watched the Alan Dye video again
Okay.
from Dub Dub,
Mm-hmm.
to prep for this, and there's no design purpose. Like
Mm.
he's like, you know, trying to choose my words. I don't want to insult this. Like,
Uh-huh.
he's like somebody that like a like an imitator, but not even a good imitator. Like, not like if you're going to Second City
Okay.
and you see somebody doing a good impression.
Sure.
Like, he's doing the thing he thinks
Mm.
or Apple thinks that Johnny Ive would do, but
Okay.
he's saying gibberish. It's like you ask ChatGPT to like give me a Johnny Ive presentation
Sure.
justifying this thing,
Uh-huh.
and it goes bloop blop bloop, and you get gobbledygook.
Sure.
But it's even in his own presentation, he was just like, glass is really cool. Uh, this stuff flows, and that
Mm.
that was there. There's no like philosophy. There's no
Sure.
unifying
Yeah.
goal. It's just God,
Yeah.
just so fired up about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, when you first started to mention like the purpose and what the goal was, that resonates with me too because I did get a sense that Apple was really trying to clean things up and make things better with iOS 7. The simpler graphics are I've done some graphic design and it's like definitely easier, but it's clearer too. When you have like a nice contrasting background with a clear and simple icon. Um, and that's kind of beneficial versus like I think some app icons back in the day used to be like full like JPEG pictures. Like illustrations or and this kind of like helped to move things towards more a very graphical, very symbol oriented design system, and it felt like progress. It felt like we were going from something messier to something better. um and I agree with you that I don't feel that same kind of purpose, that same kind of goal. I don't feel that kind of progress with liquid glass, at least in its current iteration. Um, it feels like a little bit of Hollywood. It's kind of like when you've got that favorite old movie. I don't know, maybe it was Star Wars for people. You used to use practical effects, and then you bring it into the modern age and everything's 3D. Like, sure, it's more polished, maybe it's more cinematic, but something felt a little bit better about the way that it was before, and the stuff today, what we got with liquid glass just feels like not very thought out polish.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure, again, apologists or haters will say, oh, you just don't like change. You just don't
Mm,
like the new place the buttons are. Like, it's better to have search in this location. And
yeah,
and some of that is true. Like, I don't want to say like iOS 26 is all super garbage. Like
yeah,
the
I actually do like the new search position when I remember it's there.
Yeah,
It's like, oh,
the
that's easier to
problem is
reach.
it's completely transparent. You can't see
Right.
it. The
Well, so one thing you mentioned about that is not to speak for the apologists out there, but Apple did release the tint option. So
Yeah,
now you can
yeah.
add a stronger tint to make things more visible for at least the people who've cared about that. Have you been tempted to
Yeah.
use that at all? Have you tried it?
Yeah, I turned it on and off, and like I don't know. It doesn't really make much of a difference to me.
Okay.
Because like I know where the stuff is,
Mm-hmm.
like it's still like it's not enough.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah.
and then at that, like I lived a couple days with the like more what did they call it? They called it like I can't remember the word for it, but I lived with the like less transparent version for 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
And it's fine, but like it did not. I still struggle. Like, all the same things still bothered me. Like, it didn't fix the
Uh,
bugs. Things
it,
were still. It wasn't like differentiated enough.
did it help with visibility at all?
Not for me. It was still. It was still undifferentiated, because my
Okay.
problem is not so much that like. I mean, the problem going back to like search in the passwords pop up.
Mm-hmm.
It's too transparent, and so
Yeah.
even with the less transparency, it's
Uh-huh.
still too transparent. And then the only thing that would make it pop would be if we had an old fashioned, just solid white
Text box,
like
text field.
text box with a tab bar surround at the bottom.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, there's something about the fact that it doesn't fit structurally because it's just floating on top of the existing UI. And so the UI doesn't really structure itself around it and give it like a meaningful place within the UI. It just kind of floats there. It's literally like tagged on, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for years, and God, somebody say, if they haven't already, somebody should make a supercut of space for your content, room for your content from all the WWDCs over the last 2 years.
Sure.
Because yeah, you open up photos and it's all your photos, but like if I want to, like I don't want to have to tap 6 times and sort of squint at my phone to figure out how to look at the map.
Oh yeah.
Like wait, the map used to be right there, and then you moved it, which is okay, but you moved it behind 2 menus and a disclosure triangle. And so, and then you're like, oh, you just have to add it to your favorites. Add it to my favorites? What the hell are favorites?
Yeah, I'm actually wondering.
Because in photos, you can like add your favorite arrangements.
Oh, okay.
Utilities,
like collection
because there's
style.
like recently imported maps, people. You can pin people to the top, like. But all this is inscrutable. Like I realized that like in like iOS, I don't know, 13 was not super intuitive either. Like there's the true intuitive software, not real. But it's just crazy. Again, going back to like talking to anyone who doesn't enjoy phones for fun. My friends and relatives talk to me and they're like, what the hell is going on? Why'd Apple remove that feature? And I'm like,
sure.
No, actually the feature is under you tap on yourself.
Yeah.
Why do you tap on yourself? You don't worry about it. You tap on yourself and then you tap on places and then you scroll down and that's the guides. And like,
yeah.
I'm just.
No, not many people would assume that the profile picture becomes the new menu button or hidden options button. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so there's definitely room for better implementation in general, better design implementation, not visually but functionally. It does feel a little bit like it forgot some of those like design 101 lessons,
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little bit in desperation for getting to somewhere new, Does any of this have to do, does any of our feelings towards liquid glass have to do with the way that it looks stylistically? Or do we think that the style is fine, it really just needs to be implemented better?
My hope is, with new leadership, since Alan Dye quit, my hope is that new leadership will... I don't expect Apple as a massive platform to just throw this out and like pivot again next year. But I hope that they, really think about like, I don't know, the point of what they're doing, the usability of their UX. I don't know, just sort of iterate towards something better.
Sure. So maybe not like the visual style. That's not really the source of the problem. You don't mind the shimmery effects on the edges. You don't mind like maybe the light refractions, right? I think they refer to it as. But you think that in UX terms it could be done better.
Yeah. It's so many, the vast majority, I'm sure somewhere out there, and some of my friends are still good, like, interaction designers, but so much of web and app UI design, interface design, feels like, oh, this just looks cool. Like, I really doubt that anyone at, I don't know, Instagram thinks about like what are people trying to accomplish here?
Hmm.
Where should these buttons go? What do these swipes mean? What's the like what are these metaphors of interaction?
Mm.
Well, I have a low opinion of meta. So I imagine what they're doing is like, hey, we A/B tested 14 colors, and this one has people spending 6 seconds more in the app, so let's use this one.
Sure.
Uh,
A/B testing became pretty popular there. Yeah.
so like I I don't know. I just want Apple to like design it good. Do good
Yeah.
design.
Yeah. They're capable of it. Why isn't it happening? They should just do it.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. And personally, I actually really do like the visual style of it.
Hmm.
I do think it could be implemented better. I hear you when you're saying like the visibility is low. When things don't work as expected and you've just got a blob there instead of actual buttons, like all of those are real problems. Um, but I almost feel like the face of it is this like liquid glass visual style.
Yeah.
And really, if they had just taken that style and put it on what worked from, before liquid glass, I guess. I think it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Might have even been better than what we've got today because at least people were used to that functionally.
Yeah.
Um, but the problem is I think it came with this interaction overhaul, and that is really leaving people with a bad impression because it doesn't work,
Yeah.
right? A lot of the time. Not most of the time, but a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's confusing for people because it's just something new. If people are used to something, especially something they use daily like their phone, there's gonna be friction for change.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's all kinds of things that came with the visual style that make it a little harder to swallow.
Yeah. And they that they feed on one another. Users get into this feedback loop where, like you use the share thingy and
Hmm.
you get that popover and you're like, what does check mark mean here? Am I going
Right.
forward or backward? Like I added a
Hmm.
new debit card to Apple Pay and
Hmm.
there was like a check and an exit,
Hmm.
but then there was like an okay elsewhere on screen and I'm like,
Sure.
what is going on here? What am I supposed to
Yeah.
tap on?
Yeah.
And because of that,
Right.
then you lose faith and you feel bad and then you notice the other things and then uh,
Hmm.
yeah, just
UX needs to be improved on iOS, on Apple systems overall.
yeah.
Apple software needs to improve UX.
And I like, you talk about the shimmer and stuff. Like I like cool stuff. I like
Oh yeah.
a whimsical interface. Uh,
Hmm.
like when Mac OS beta first came out, and you'd
Hmm.
minimize stuff to the dock, and it would do that genie effect. Like
Hmm.
that was held up as expert UI UX because it was whimsical. Like, oh wow, my
Hmm.
menu, my window just like got sucked into the dock. That is
Yeah.
cool, and also it tells you where the window went. So you as a user
Yeah.
know you have a connection between a minimized window, and you're like, oh wow,
Right.
like
Something felt tangible about that. Like
yeah,
reminds you of the real world. Yeah. 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 And there's not that with liquid glass. It's this magic water material that doesn't always work.
God,
It doesn't feel real. Kind of looks cool sometimes, but
yeah,
it's the cool look is outshined by the poor functionality.
yeah. All right, so all I want for Christmas is basically just fix all the rendering bugs
Hmm.
and all the sort of interaction flubs, and then it'll be
Hmm.
pretty good.
Let's say that the user interaction stayed the same, but it just actually worked. Less frozen blobs. Would that be enough to fix liquid glass, or do you think it really needs a UX overhaul from the ground up?
Are you when you say fix bugs? Does that include the like four circles that don't really line up in Apple Music?
Absolutely, yeah, and definitely the usability or
Yeah.
the visibility. Yeah.
I mean, the expectations are low, so like I would be pleasantly surprised if they sort of audit all the popovers and everything and like really get down to brass tacks on a check mark, a plus, a this, a that. Like, what are we doing with all these popovers? Even the screenshot thing. Like, what? God, the screenshot in iOS 26 has so many weird exit paths. Anyway, sorry, staying on target. Yeah, I mean, I'll take what I can get. Like, even if on the Mac they just, dialed back the bubbly sort of information density, I'd take anything at this point. Like, so beaten down that I'm honestly, like, I don't think ever in my life have I seriously thought about installing Linux on my MacBook Air, except for like the last month or so.
Wow, all right. You're like really annoyed by liquid glass.
It's
Man.
just like, what is the point of a computer, right? Like, why does Safari's bubbles take up so much space?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying my best here, Apple. You got to meet me halfway.
Right. And maybe worth some consideration here, since you've literally thought about other OSs. Is this something that you feel like you're probably just going to get used to and grow comfortable with over time anyway? Because it's hard to imagine that they will overhaul it, right?
Yeah.
Or are you like upset enough, frustrated enough that you probably will check out something else?
Yeah. So this is bigger than liquid glass. We'll talk later about the guy that got locked out of his Apple ID. Like, more and more, I'm becoming, what's the right phrase? Like not, I don't want to be like a prepper, like I don't want a bomb shelter and a bunch of food for 10 years. But like, in terms of like, who am I paying? And what service do I really get from the things I'm paying for? Is specific to Apple, like, what value do they give me? And is that worth the trade-off? Like, I spend money for, what's their subscription? Apple One? Like, spend money for that. I have so many AirPods and AirPods Pros around the house. Like, iMessage, I'm bought into that. Like, I use iMessage for everything. But like, 2 years ago.
So it'd be difficult, to say the least, to switch to another platform. But,
yeah. But 2 years ago, I would say, if I looked in my journal, I probably wrote like, oh, I love Apple. This is going great. Like, I feel really good about the money I spend and the service I get, and I am happy to use my computer. And now, like, it's not just Apple. It's like Apple, and like, I'm not going to pay for Paramount Plus. Like, I'll pirate stuff before I pay for Paramount Plus.
Sure.
And Netflix is how much now? Right. And I only watch 2 movies a year on Netflix. Like, there's K-pop Demon Hunters and the new Knives Out. So, wow. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I'm just sort of ranting, but like,
well, it sounds like there's a general dissatisfaction with the experience there.
Yeah, the value proposition is off. And if I'm going to be frustrated using my computer, then I might as well be frustrated with something I truly own.
Yeah.
Like my own NAS, my own Linux install.
Sure.
Build from source, goddammit, I don't care.
Like, you've given these other companies and services so much liberty, whether it's like the amount of products and services you're using from them, or just like maybe this library that you don't actually own yourself, and you're thinking maybe it's time, maybe they're not doing a great job, maybe it's time I take back some of that control, stop giving them so much liberty.
Yeah, and I would think I've done that with other companies in the past, but like, to come to Apple and think like the value scale is not balanced, like I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth. That's new for me, to be so frustrated that like I start, the mind starts to wander.
Sure. Yeah. I hear you. I haven't actually considered switching OSs or platforms yet, but SteamOS is looking really interesting lately.
Yeah.
It's looking really interesting. Yeah, I'll say I think you're more frustrated than I am. Not to say that you shouldn't be. I don't disagree with any of your gripes.
Yeah, but we're different points on our journey.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I might be a little more tolerant, a little more willing to see how things are gonna play out here. Uh, though it doesn't look like you're abandoning ship immediately, but I do kind of feel like I'm probably just gonna get used to the quirks. It'll become
yeah.
second nature again. And I don't think the way it was before Liquid Glass was perfect either, right? Uh, but
Oh yeah,
but
no,
I think I had some muscle memory for whatever it was, and I'll probably
yeah,
rebuild that muscle memory for what it is today.
yeah,
For better or worse, this is one of those things where it's like I remember years ago, one of the biggest flare-ups in terms of like user dissatisfaction around UX was like a Facebook change. I think they changed. I don't know if it was the timeline
yeah,
or just like the
yeah,
the visual design. But yeah, these things happen, and at least on my side, I've come to kind of just say like, all right, let's see how this plays out. And
yeah,
for better or worse, it usually just the change is forgotten about and move on with the new thing. From my experience.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I'll probably like calm down. They'll ship another point release. It'll be fine. But yeah, if you imagine the spectrum, like you got a gauge that goes from green to orange to red.
hmm
Like I'm still in the green, but I'm at the bottom of the green. I'm like,
Yeah,
not feeling great about uh, the relationship with this organization.
sure. Yeah, I hear you. All right, I think we hit some solid points there, and I hope someone who can make a difference might be listening. I wouldn't bet on it. But if there's anyone out there who
Let's-
works at Apple who has any influence over the UX, I hope you take this to heart. We really want to like Apple. We're not Apple haters, but we just maybe are wishing for a little bit
yeah.
more from the UX right now. Okay, so for our next topic, I thought it might be interesting and fun to talk about when we've done our best work in software. And part of what makes me want to reflect on this is sometimes I see like these companies that are trying to achieve big things. Apple is one of them. Google, Tesla, and they really like to boast about the fact that the people working there are really doing the best work of their lives. And people who come out of those companies will say exactly that. Uh, despite any kind of pressures or discomfort that they experience at the same time. I thought it might be fun to just like reflect on the best work that we've done, what we're most proud of in our work history. So
I do love our sort of walks down memory lane. I um I've been in management for 15 years, 16 years now.
hmm
Um so it's been a while, but like as an individual contributor, I'm I'm always chasing that feeling. And for me, because I'm older, it's like in the movie Hackers when they're
hmm
hacking, there's like
hmm
stuff flying around the screen and there's techno music playing. Like
yeah,
that flow
sounds
state.
awesome. Uh
Yeah, even like come on, you must have felt that at some point in your
You
career.
know, I maybe a little bit. Maybe in the very beginning, it felt a little matrixy.
I remember like when I was first starting on the iPhone and I was going through what's his name, the Big Nerd Ranch
Oh
Hillicast.
yeah.
I was
hmm
going through his book and like struggling, and then I can't, I just have a sense memory of like drinking coffee in that desk in our old house with the sun coming in the window,
hmm
and just like flying, like you're in that, you build that like palace in your mind, and you're like
Yeah.
techno music's playing and you're like doo 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 doo.
Yes.
But I as an individual, that
Mhm.
was the best. Like if I could get to that flow state and be like working on a meaty problem, really
Sure.
hacking at something like that, that was personally the most rewarding.
What were you working
And
on at the time?
oh, terrible apps. Like they weren't good or
Oh.
complicated or anything. Like,
Okay.
but I mean, I still can get to that state. Like uh, I used ChatGPT
Mhm.
and some Python scripts that a former coworker built.
Mhm.
This was last year. We at my job, my full-time job, needed to pipe some data out of our production databases into a makeshift.
Mhm.
It eventually it became a warehouse, but to start it was
Okay.
just into Excel sheets so we could do reporting, and I needed to automate that so I didn't have to manually run all these SQL queries.
Mm.
And so I took a Python script that one of our former coworkers had done in OpenAI and crammed them together and described it, and it gave me a skeleton that kind of worked.
Sure.
But then, like using like using my terrible Python skills,
Mhm.
I was in the zone again. I was like, you
Nice.
know, things were floating around, techno music was playing, like like and that, again, it was like not it's not like I was saving the world, but it was just I was in that flow state,
Mhm.
and I was like, especially in Python, you're running those tight feedback loops because you don't have to build. You just run, 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 run.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, here's an error. Okay, I need another log there. Okay, that's the error. Okay, I figured it out. No, no, no,
Mm.
no.
Mhm.
Um, so
Nice.
always chasing that flow state.
Yeah.
Those are like the most fun programming experiences.
Okay.
But then when you talk about like rewarding,
Mhm.
I think, and I've mentioned this before on the podcast, like the teams that I worked with that I helped to build at Active Campaign, like I am the most proud of those. Like again,
Yeah.
we weren't changing the world, but like we had teams that owned what they built,
Mhm.
talked to customers, built valuable things.
Mhm.
People grew. People on my teams got, they came in as junior engineers, and then they
Mhm.
grew to, eventually senior
Oh,
engineers.
that's
We had two
great.
people go into management, like
Yeah.
shipping cool stuff,
Mhm.
building careers, building apps.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to kind of look back on that and I mean, I remember when we had some employees come in as interns and just seeing the progress that they make, and that's the stuff of life right there.
Yeah, yeah,
Living, growing, working together. Um,
yeah. Little God, this guy Jack Terry,
mhm.
we had as a intern 2 years, I think, 2 or 3 years,
Mm.
and then he graduated from college. We didn't talk for a while, and then I hired him later at another job, and
Mhm.
I think he's still over there. I think he's still at a Mount.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was great to see him grow from like, computer enthusiast high schooler
Uh-huh.
to software professional.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is he oh yeah, you mentioned he's probably still over there, so he's this is a life thing for him. I'm like I was
It's a
curious about
life
like
sentence.
oh well, I don't know if I'd see it that way, but well, and here's the reason why I was starting to go down that mental path is like I'm starting to wonder like I initially thought that software, developer was going to be my lifelong thing, and I don't know so much anymore with the way things are changing.
Oh, wow.
But it sounds like it's working out for him. And that's not to say that I want to change career tracks at all, but it is kind of
Yeah.
a recognition of how the times are changing, in that
Yeah.
landscape.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
different job nowadays.
yeah.
Well, so tell me about like, your same question, best
Yeah.
development experience, for you or the team or the product.
Yeah, I would say it happened pretty early in my software developer career. And I kind of wonder what that says about the landscape
Peaked
of
early.
software development. Yeah, well, so at one of my first jobs, I worked at a news company, and I was hired on to work on their application. It was a video news company, and I worked with one other developer. I'm not sure how much of a traditional iOS developer he was. In hindsight, there were things that were done differently than I'd expect them to be. There were like multi-threading issues. Uh, but I was working with someone else who had more software developer experience than me in general. And after about 3 months of working there, he got an opportunity to work somewhere else. He actually became a Unity developer right after that role. So I think that might say something about, what platform he was really wanting to be on. But anyway, that left me as the sole developer at that company, and with an opportunity to really kind of leave my mark and lead that project, independently, whichever direction I wanted. And I mentioned there were, things like multi-threading issues, there were networking issues, all of that, plenty of room to fix, and so I just offered to my product manager at the time, hey, this app is really serving some basic content here. There's no reason why it can't run as smooth as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Like, it should be able to at least scroll smoothly, just like all of those. And it wasn't. It was it was pretty laggy for what it was doing. It wasn't doing much. And so that gave me the opportunity to really improve that. He decided to take me up on that, and at the time I was still a junior developer, and so it took some effort and some learning, but after about 3 months, I was able to iron out a lot of that. Big chunk of that was learning more about networking on iOS, about architecture, multi-threading, of course, asynchronous, making sure you're calling things on the right threads. Um, and
Oh yeah.
and that app really turned around and became something that we could be proud of, and that I was really proud of. It went from like something that was like felt kind of clunky to something that was like, this is professional. And the funny thing about that is that I was working on that fully independently, and I think what made it feel like the best work I've done is not only the outcome of it, but the fact that I had that kind of direction or that ability to follow my intuition, wherever that took me, whatever direction that took me. I was able to say like, hey, I'm experiencing this. This experiencing isn't as good as it could be. How do I fix it? And then I fixed it. I would say the rest of my software development career was great, but it was not like that. The rest of my software development career was, backlogs, taking on tickets, that were planned, weeks or months ahead of time, and doing incremental updates that sometimes I wondered if anyone was really experiencing. Um, and
I mean, you hit on it.
sure,
Like you took, working autonomously, like owning the results,
yeah,
working on things that were obviously valuable instead of like, oh, I don't know if this is valuable.
right,
Yeah. I mean, and you were at that first job, you were you were the only dev. You were just like,
that's
what can I
right.
Google? Who can I ask? What books can I find? And I'll figure it out.
Well, fortunately, at that time, I had established some connections, in the Chicagoland software dev, industry. And so, I had peers to bounce off of who were working at other companies. I had, connections from mobile makers, and, smart group of people that, were helping to lead that and who were going through that, students coming out of it. So that helped a lot, but to be honest, yeah, a big part of it was just doing some of my own, research and figuring out what I could do to make things to push things in the direction that I believed they should go in.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and for better or worse, I'm back there today. More indie style, but I will say, I've been pretty satisfied with the work that I've done recently. There's a bit of pride that comes with that. Um, and yeah, it's so much better than like creating a table view cell for like a week or two that it's like may or may
Does
not
anyone
be
care?
noticed. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Working on
Uh,
like the new settings list or something. But yeah, that was the time that I was most proud, and I have to say it's because I was given that freedom and the agency and the ability to really work on things that I believed were meaningful to
yeah.
the user experience. You don't always get that.
Oh no, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I was thinking, like the Grubhub app. Who knows how many people work on the Grubhub app? But like, it's still choppy.
Mm.
Maybe it will always be choppy to scroll, and it kills me. Like, just come on.
Yeah.
There's gotta be somebody in there. Like, I
Right.
don't care how many other features you add. Just like, let me order the food and
Hmm.
scroll smoothly. That's
Yeah.
all I want.
And it's surprising at how many companies that, a poor experience is allowed to survive.
Yeah.
It's something that, like, that just one or two people could get in there, spend some time, and really transform it into something actually pleasurable to use, or maybe just, so useful that you don't even think about it. But
Yeah.
then, for whatever reason, a poor experience is allowed to exist, and you're left wondering, why is it like this?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure that team, like many big company teams, like your previous experience, is just like they got their backlog and they have some product manager that's
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, we need to refactor the, you know,
Hmm.
advertising embed cell. So
Yep.
how
Yep.
many points will that be?
Right.
47. Okay, well I guess we'll do it next year.
Yeah.
You're like,
And the sad
uh,
part is, the same mentality and attitude and passion that I had that made my first, job experience so great, where I was so proud of that work. I was taking that into the following, companies that I ended up working at. But
oh
it's
yeah,
just one of those things where it's like, hey, I think this could be better. Is it okay if I work on this? And it's just like, well, we've got these priorities. Let's put it in the backlog. That
yeah,
really is just how the
thanks for
machine
nothing.
works sometimes, yeah. And I'll be
Yeah.
honest, I didn't mind at the time. I'm like, hey, at least they value it enough to keep track of it, Um, I really didn't mind. But
One day.
uh, yeah, one day maybe I'll get to fix that, and I can be happier for it. But yeah, yeah, it's the kind of thing that makes you question if things could be, I mean, there's always room for improvement, right? What if things could be better in the way that software is done in the industry? It
Oh
reminds
yeah.
me of like interview code challenges, People have complained about
Hmm.
that. I know one of the reasons why I basically refuse to interview at bigger companies is because most of them want to do like a leak code challenge to assess like how good you are at programming, which I think
Hmm.
has its value, but it's so rare working in iOS that like the bulk of the work is like what coming up with the most efficient algorithm.
Yeah.
Uh, Most of the time it's just platform knowledge, framework knowledge, like have you worked with this framework before, this technology before? Um, and when that is the bulk of your work, but it's being left at the wayside for, leak code challenges, it just doesn't feel great. And so that's why that's why I don't like to interview at those
Yeah.
companies. I'm like, what about the actual, I'm feeling terrible because like I may or may not be doing well on these code challenges. Sometimes I do a lot better than I expect, to be honest. But the what I'd really be proud of is just showing what I really have worked with before and know how to do, and there doesn't seem to
Yeah.
be as much care about that.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean any interview, you're just, you study for the interview. You
Sure.
test for the interview. It has very little at most places. The interview has very little to do with the actual job.
Right.
Gosh.
It feels like
Um
initiation, at a fraternity or
yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. All secret handshakes and
Yeah.
pop quizzes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I came at software development from a less traditional route. I went to art school and taught myself, and then the boot camp. And I
Hmm.
remember working with someone who went the more traditional route. Because I went the less traditional route, there wasn't really as much of a focus on the algorithms expertise. Maybe that's why I don't really enjoy it today. But one of the things that came up was like big O notation, and this guy was shocked that I wasn't like an expert at like big O notation and
Oh
basically
God.
measuring the efficiency of
Yeah.
algorithms. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I can tell you that you're not supposed to, loop within loops. You avoid that as much as possible. You try to keep it to one flow instead of like, several runarounds within the same function, but uh, that's the general knowledge that you need to have to make something work. And some people expect you to have that really hardcore like expertise, and maybe it's not
Yeah.
that hardcore.
Well,
Maybe it just feels that way because it wasn't my thing. I don't know.
I mean, it's so silly. I mean, big O notation is
Hmm.
not complicated,
Mm.
but it's wrapped in jargon and
Yeah, it feels
like a
not intuitive.
academic-y.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I think anyone that's programmed for a while intuitively knows sort of complexity.
yeah,
But
you
then
have to.
you sort of you jargon it away, and then that allows people to gatekeep.
Right, right.
I remember. I mean, like I have a master's degree in software engineering.
Hmm.
Like I didn't. I touched Big O in like one class
Okay,
and then forgot about it.
sure. Yeah.
But it comes up inordinately in interviews. And then I remember dependency injection was another one because
Uh-huh.
I never worked in Java where everybody loves dependency injection.
Mm.
So I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And then
Yeah,
somebody explains it like, oh, you just provide the dependencies like at runtime instead of like hard coded. I'm like, well, why
sure.
don't you just say that?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
honestly. Yeah.
it doesn't have to be difficult. We could just use, the words for what we're talking about.
Yeah, and that's what I find is the less pleasant side of the software developer career track.
Yeah.
And the most pleasant side is just recognizing room for improvement and making it happen because you don't need all of that jargon to do a good job at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, this guy. I don't want. I just. Sorry, I'm self-editing, so you don't have to edit out. But I think of all the times where like gatekeepers or grumpy old engineers I worked with, to
Hmm.
me or to anyone on the team, would be like talk for 40 minutes about a code smell, and like nobody asks, nobody cares. Like,
Yeah.
let's just get back to like you said. Let's just like
Hmm.
make things that are valuable
Yeah.
and work together and make them good. And
Hmm.
like, oh God.
Oh yeah. I'll say one of my favorite interviews was when uh, I think it was the technical director of the company at the time. He of course ran me through the basic iOS developer questions. But then he at the end of near the end of the interview, he pulled out a laptop with the project and he's like, "All right, here's a bug that needs to be fixed. No one's gotten to it yet. How would you fix it?" And so he gave me an opportunity to debug it, find the source of the problem, and suggest a fix for it right there on the spot. And of course,
Mhm.
because I had some iOS developer experience, I was able to do that and show that I would be able to do it. And
Yep.
and that was such a like gratifying and validating experience of like, yes, I can do this, and I just showed that I can do it. So that feels so much more relevant to iOS developer work than just solving an algorithm on a whiteboard.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
wish more interviews were like that. Like, hey, just fix this thing. If you can fix it, you can probably fix most of our bugs. you know. I feel like we ended up complaining about the less
Yeah,
great
there's no
sides of
shortage of stuff. It's a special holiday complaining episode.
yeah.
Last week, a guy from Tasmania, Australia,
Hmm.
a Dr. Paris, um, Dr. Paris Butfield Addison, who
Okay.
lives in Tasmania. His blog, previously unknown to me and many people, was suddenly very well trafficked. On December 13th, he posted a provocatively titled blog post, 20 Years of Digital Life Gone in an Instant, Thanks to Apple.
Ooh.
And so this has been covered by Daring Fireball and Accidental Tech Podcast and Mac Stories and Apple Insider. Like everyone's talked about this, but I'll spoiler alert, it works out okay. He regained access. Somebody on the like executive, level 10 support helped him to regain access. But the story goes, if you haven't heard it, he bought a Apple gift card at a brick and mortar store. He punched it in to redeem the gift card. He got an error message, and then shortly thereafter, he got a pop-up notification that his account had been locked. Visit a support article, and then very quickly he realized that all of his iCloud everything was locked up. And so for him and many of us, myself included, this includes video and TV purchases, any sort of media that you've ever bought. This includes all the apps you've ever bought on the App Store, your photos, iCloud Drive. What else is in there? Email, iMessages. iMessage were totally screwed.
Photos, and passwords.
Oh, yep. Password syncing. Yep. What else? Oh, if you use the same Apple ID for your developer account.
Oh, right.
That's totally screwed. And then he went into what I would describe as a Kafka-esque nightmare where support could not tell him why he was banned. He got escalated support, and they told them to go to the Australian headquarters in Sydney, which is crazy advice.
Wow.
But maybe that would have worked. He was told to just recreate his account. And that's bad.
Forget everything. Just start new. It's a fresh start on life.
And even other people have pointed out that there's also a violation of the App Store developer guidelines. If you are banned and you create another account, that is a violation of those agreements.
Oh.
And so basically he's caught in this scenario where he can't really do anything. He's getting no answers, and there is no escalation path for a normal person. I would argue the only reason that Dr. Paris got his stuff back was because Daring Fireball, Apple Insider, Accidental Tech Podcast covered it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, he's just some schmo.
Right, yeah. It's just the spotlight effect. It's like when you go to a news station and finally the company is forced to act.
Exactly. And Apple has I'm sure whatever the gift card scam is unclear. I have no idea how that works, but I'm sure Apple just has automated fraud systems that ban, I don't know, how many users do they have? Billions? So they probably ban thousands a day, hundreds of thousands maybe. Who knows?
Sure. Yeah.
And this poor guy happened to get caught up in it. And so
worst part is they couldn't, point to a reason. At the very least, if you're going to have an automated system, you might as well have a good ban message for it, It's kind of like in your iOS projects, if you don't set up a good error message, What am I supposed to do with this? It sounds like that's where he was.
Yeah, I mean ain't that just definitively Apple? The happy path works pretty good most of the time, but when it doesn't, it really doesn't. You get nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And so he's on Mastodon, and I looked at some of his replies, and there were tons of people that were maybe trying to be helpful, but probably just victim blaming because they were like, "Oh, you did it wrong," or "You should have backups," or
sure, yeah.
You obviously were trying to front. That's not helpful. Let's just take it. Let's just assume that this guy is doing his best.
Yeah.
What I wanted to talk about this and what this got me thinking about is disaster recovery, because iCloud, Google Drive, Dropbox, these are not backups. These are cloud services.
Yeah.
Backups are totally different.
Yeah.
And so I inventoried for myself, and now I'd encourage you and all of our listeners to take stock. We listed earlier, you got photos, you got iMessage, you got your email, if you use your iCloud.me.mac account for email. You've got passwords, and was there another one in there? Oh, and then my journals too. I forgot about that.
Oh, sure. I wondered, do you know if Apple has an option to just download all of your data from them, and maybe is that sufficient for a good backup every week, every month.
They do, but the last time I looked at it, which granted was earlier this year, it was pretty messy. You get like
I
a
see.
blob of JSON
Huh.
and a bunch of bunch of like unstructured stuff.
Sure.
Uh, That's a good point though. I should double check that and see if they've improved that at all. Because my recollection was like notes, for example,
Mm-hmm.
were exported as like JSON or HTML.
Huh.
I can't
Wow.
remember. With like a bunch of metadata that was, not really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like they
And
give you
then,
your data, but in the messiest, least useful form.
well, like Apple has very little economic incentive
Mm-hmm.
because it works for the vast majority of people.
Mm-hmm.
And again, at their scale, if they have billions of people and a few thousand every day are screwed and lose all their photos,
Mm-hmm.
like, what are you going to do? Tough nuts.
Shoot. That makes me want to back up all of my photos right now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, Apple has, first, Apple has the, save storage option where it only downloads the stuff that you're sort of looking at from iCloud and from Photos and all of those.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is tough because storage space on Apple computers is very expensive, but if you have the means, you need at least one computer, a Mac, with enough storage to have everything downloaded.
Mm.
Without that, you've got to use the data export that you just described, and that is, dubious quality.
Mm-hmm.
And additionally, if you do happen to get locked out, you won't be able to get to that. So that is too late.
Yeah.
You could theoretically get in the habit of requesting that download on a regular basis and putting it somewhere else on the internet, perhaps. But like, the path of least resistance is to have a computer with enough storage space for all your stuff, one of your computers, one of your Macs, if you have multiple Macs, and from there, back up to a off-site hard drive of some sort on a regular basis. Because, God, can you imagine you get locked out of your Apple ID and then your house burns down?
Oh, no, yeah.
Very slim chance, but there's a chance.
Yeah. The chance is not zero. Yeah.
Yeah. And then even, you will lose iMessage. You'll be, locked out of that. But there are, there's actually an app written in Rust that I contributed to last year that will dump out the chat database into a nice sort of HTML rendering. So if you're locked out, you can still use the local version to get your chat histories if you're a pack rat like me and you want to save that for, I don't know, sentimental reasons.
Sure.
Email, if you're locked out of that, if you use your .Mac or iCloud account for email, like if you're locked out, you're locked out. You never get those. So again, you want to download the whole email archive locally, back that up offsite on a hard drive somewhere. Time Machine is good for sure, but still Time Machine is a drive in your house. So probably best to do a full, clone of your boot drive. So you have all of that. And then journals and passwords both have the ability to export. I'm not sure about who can import the data from passwords.
Oh, right.
But at the very least, if you have that file somewhere, you can dig into the text should the worst happen.
Right.
That's better than nothing.
Yeah.
According to, I have not tried this because I don't want to hose my system, but according to random people on the internet, if you are locked out of iCloud, but you still have your local device, you can still read the passwords even if syncing doesn't work.
Huh.
As far as I know, if you're locked out of iCloud, Apple will not automatically delete the passwords on your device. They are still on your device.
So you can still get in with normal security measures, Face ID, passcode, and access your passwords even if you've lost access.
According to random people on the internet, yes. I feel like we need some due diligence there to make sure that still works.
Right.
You may get a lot of error messages Maybe you have to go into airplane mode, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
can still access it.
Yeah.
At the same time as this discussion, or maybe because of this discussion with our Tasmanian friend, there was also discussion about passkeys and Apple passwords and vendor lock-in.
Mhm.
And so there's the boogeyman. The worst case would be if somebody nefarious took over your account and used the remote wipe
Mm.
and deleted the stuff.
Mhm.
But like that's a whole nother thing. Like being locked out, having your account disabled is one thing.
Mhm.
Losing control of your account to a bad actor,
Mhm.
that's a whole nother kettle of fish, which we won't cover here.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, for developers, I'm sure many of you are developers, you want to be sure to use a separate Apple ID for separate apps or separate employers or separate projects, if possible. I'm not saying you need like a separate Apple ID for every app you have. If you want your apps to show up in your same business, then I don't think you can do that. But to have your personal Apple ID and your sort of business Apple ID is one and the same, again, probably will be okay, but God forbid something bad happens to either one of those, it will nuke the other thing. So as much as you can, build a firewall between your work Apple ID, your App Store Apple ID, and your personal Apple ID, or else you're being for a world of pain.
Yeah. It's just good digital hygiene. You really don't know how much access your company might have to an Apple ID that you use on their machine.
Yep. Oh, and that's so that's off this topic. But since you mentioned that, if you have a work Mac and you log in with your personal Apple ID so you can get your iMessages, again, that should be fine. But depending on the device management profile that your employer has on that computer, they may have access to your messages and additional iCloud data if you are not careful.
Yeah.
So good advice not to log into your work machine with personal stuff.
Yeah.
Just good advice. It might work. Maybe it works fine for you, but there is the possibility for an MDM managed Mac that they can get into more of your iCloud stuff. And you probably don't want that.
Right.
Although your employer is probably fine.
Hopefully. The last place I contracted at, they insisted I use my personal Apple ID. Thought that was interesting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I didn't.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man. So it was a very exciting week in, I don't know, Apple ID. They're not even called Apple IDs anymore. What are they called? Apple accounts?
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember that name change. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that this Tasmanian guy got his access back. And it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy either. Like he's been on Apple platforms like as a professional for years, for 20 years, 30 years. Like
Shoot. Invested in the ecosystem. They just dropped him.
Yeah. I mean, you, all of us have very little rights with all of this stuff. Like if Google decided tomorrow, like, I don't like your YouTube channel. I mean, they probably wouldn't. They probably have controls, but they could. They could just say, I don't like your YouTube channel. And then they delete your Google Drive. They delete your YouTube account. They delete, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you can't really do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. The power is there on their side. I remember a similar story with someone who answered the door for a delivery from Amazon. For some reason, the delivery person thought that they said a racist remark when they actually had a recording of the event. They just said something like hello or who is it?
That's a big mistake.
Yeah. For some reason, the delivery person thought it was a racist remark, and Amazon ended up doing a similar thing where they locked down the whole Amazon account, creating issues for that person. So got to be careful, or at least aware that this stuff can happen.
Yeah. I wonder if you've got a personal Amazon account, like for the store, if you use that same account for AWS stuff.
Oh,
wonder if
right.
that has similar problems because you could
Probably
get banned
does.
from one and then the other.
Yeah, yeah,
Gosh,
yeah.
we're all we're all just serving. We're all just farming on other people's property here. Ugh,
Right.
God.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
So make
um,
backups, put them somewhere safe.
yes. I think I'm gonna have to reconsider my digital hygiene here soon. Yeah, it's just so easy to not think about it, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Are
I
you pretty
mean,
good with this stuff?
I I'm gonna say I'm good, and then our next call, I'll be like, "Oh, well, I lost everything."
Oh no.
Um, no, I'm pretty good.
Uh,
I've been a happy Backblaze customer for a long time, so I
okay.
have Backblaze backing up everything.
Okay.
I make a clone of my disk. For a while, I ran Time Machine, but it had weird performance characteristics. Like I'd be
Oh.
watching because the same computer hosts my Jellyfin library, which is like videos and audio and stuff that I
Mm,
host, on my private cloud for myself.
mm,
And so Time Machine would kick off while it was playing a video, and then I got a little weird stutters.
mm,
So, yeah, so clone locally, Backblaze offsite.
mm,
I want to get another external drive to do
mm,
another clone that I can store somewhere else, but
mm.
I'm not at that level of paranoia yet, but I know I should be.
Yeah. I'm terrible at this stuff. Apple, please don't lock down my account. Not anytime soon. Please.
Gosh, I mean the worst the thing I don't know, maybe we could do. I say we like you and I could do it together. We could do a preparedness drill. Because I don't even know, like you're supposed to, good hygiene is also to test your backups on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So I check the clone and I'll boot from it and I check Backblaze and I log in and I use my encryption key and I see that the files that I expect to be there are there,
Hmm.
but I don't actually like load them.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
then,
Who knows? It
and
could
then
be
even if
corrupted
you,
files.
yeah, and even if you have your photos,
Hmm.
does the photo library, like Apple's
Mm.
photos.app library, does that depend on your iCloud? Like
Mm.
if I had the library but not iCloud, would it still load all the like,
Right. Do you need to log into
memories
your
and
Apple
stuff?
ID? Does it need to talk to their back end before it unlocks?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I could try turning off iCloud photos and see if everything explodes.
I'd
It
be
must be
curious.
possible to use it without iCloud.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe.
Oh my. This brings back memories of all those people who complained about Apple's walled garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting locked into that garden. But I will say, it's been pretty great for me.
Yeah. I mean,
But
unfortunately, or fortunately for Apple, unfortunately for me, like Apple Photos is the best for me.
hmm
But then I'm like, yeah, what else? I don't know. I don't really like Google Photos. I use that for some stuff.
Oh well, let's
Maybe
see.
maybe Proton Photos. Go with the
Oh my
hyper secure
goodness.
European option.
Well, so I used to be into the media arts back in the day, and for me, I would just raw file it. Like the just file directories with custom named folders, and
Yeah, yeah.
I feel
Hell
like
yeah.
that's the only way I could fully trust.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about outdated software. You don't have to worry about access in any kind of form. It's just files are there. But
Just files, man.
yeah, it's been a while since I've really organized and backed up some things. So this is a great reminder. I need to do that. We all do.
Yeah. Yeah, to let us yeah, we should all be so lucky not to get locked out, but if it does happen, we should be ready.
Yeah, isn't it a real privilege we live in like this time where we can forget about it for long stretches of time and then remember someday like, oh, I should probably do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, I mean, I back in the 90s, we lost a whole computer
Hmm.
to I still don't know what it was, but it just sort of stopped working one day.
Mm.
I think it was the hard drive died, but I'm not sure because I was a child.
Mm.
Um, and then as an adolescent, uh, the computer that I used, I remember downloading something. This was pre like high speed internet,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it must have been a shareware game,
Mm.
but it was not a shareware game. It was just an executable file that just deleted everything.
Oh,
And
yikes.
I remember running that, and then the computer just sort of broke. And then I
No.
booted off a disk, and it was like, you don't have any files here. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
No. Yeah, viruses like that used to be a little more common back in the day.
I just wanted to play Commander Keen. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've had some bad things happen from trying to bootleg some movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be a big torrenting fan.
Yeah. I read something even this week that the Ryan Johnson Wake Up Dead Man
Uh-huh.
had one of the torrents from Russia had some sort of virus or worm or something in it.
Oh
I
man.
don't know. I don't know the details, but yeah, it's still
You know,
still out there.
that's the one nice thing about this walled garden, Apple's ecosystem. As long as you go the official routes, it's usually safe. Usually.
Yeah, usually until they lock you out.
Yeah. Until they're the ones that you have to worry about until they become the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the United States, I don't see any chance of data privacy, data ownership laws passing at the federal level. So maybe
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe we just just pray. God, yeah, because like I said, Apple doesn't have a financial incentive to like provide more data portability, and they're not
Right.
doing like they have added. There's the new transition to Android. Well, it's not new, but they keep improving the Android migration thing and the
Okay.
data portability.
Oh.
But it's still not great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Better than it's ever been. Still could be a lot better.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's hope it improves. I'm definitely gonna create a backup of my pictures here soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the spooky stories to tell
Yeah,
by the campfire.
Welcome to
NSCoder Chicago.
Welcome to
NSCoder Chicago. NSCoder Chicago. NSCoder Chicago.
Thanks everyone for listening to the NSCoder Chicago podcast. My name is David Vision.
And my name's Sean Walter. NSCoder is a monthly meetup here in Chicago. We meet downtown on the last Tuesday of every month. You can find more information about us at nscoder-chicago.com. You can look for us on meetup.com, see our upcoming events. And you can also just do a search for NSCoder Chicago Mac and iOS Developer Meetup. We'd love to see you.
Yes. Also, if you've got anything that you want to talk about or present at the NSCoder events, I've been presenting there lately. It's a lot of fun. I'm probably going to present there again very soon, maybe the next one. But it's a pretty open floor. And so if you want to present something, feel free to offer that up and we can listen to you blab about something you're passionate about.
Yeah, you take the mic.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great space for Mac, iOS developers, Vision developers, and just enthusiasts too. Even if you're just excited about Apple stuff,
Yes.
more than welcome to join us.
Yeah. Hope we see you there. Until then, maybe we'll see you at the next podcast. Thanks, everyone.